Now, for sporting event businesses, the COVID-19 hit continues to take its toll with so many endurance sport events from around the world cancelled. And from Canberra, triathlete Craig Johns has been working towards organising a World Endurance Coaching Business Summit to bring together coaches from his industry to share ideas really about survival, how to manage the disruption, and how to prepare for an eventual return to endurance sport events. Here's Craig.
When COVID-19 hit, we could see it was going to have a major impact on the sporting world, um, across the world there. And with that, the biggest people that were going to get hit were events, and we also could see that coaches and clubs were as well. So for me, I wanted to give back to the coaching community. I've been involved as a coach for 25 years, and I could just see some of them really struggling to figure out how they were going to survive through this period. So it started out with setting up a webinar each week. We were inviting coaches from swimming, cycling, running, triathlon, and other endurance sports from around the world to join us once a week. And we put in guest speakers, and we'd talk through how they were coping, and then into providing them some support around how they could upgrade their businesses from an endurance point of view, and also look after their mental health and personal performance as a coach. After the first week, we could see a lot of interest, and we had an idea around, how can we create a conference or a gathering of coaches from around the world at one time where it wasn't just your normal 1 hour, 1 hour sessions where, you might have a professor or you might have someone that just kind of talks through things, and if they're not that interesting, it's a long time to sit around. So we wanted to make sure we had really short, sharp, education that was relatable and really relevant at the moment. And so that's where Coach Vision 2020 came into play. And we looked at a really innovative way of going, okay, let's do 20-minute presentations, different speakers, and throw in a few different themes there. And because of COVID, we've obviously had to do that virtually now and doing it all online. So that's where it all came about. It's giving from the heart and bringing coaches from around the world to support other coaches.
Coaches are often so selfless and so focused on the programs for their athletes. But is this really about getting the coaches some sort of stability for themselves, or is it about how they can do their job during this time?
It's about providing stability. You're quite correct there. Everything is around focusing on the athlete and how do they get performance out of the athlete. And that's whether they're an amateur athlete or whether they're a professional Olympic athlete. We tend to give and give and give and forget about our own performance. However, when we look back at it, if you're not looking after yourself first, so if you're not a high-performing coach, so if you're not looking after your mental health, if you're not looking after your physical health, if you're not preparing to perform every single day, it can be very easy to fall into a trap where you get fatigued, you get stressed, you start making mistakes. And obviously, athletes always feed off the people around them. And so it's really important that we were able to provide the coaches stability, so then when they were speaking with their athletes, they could be calm, they could provide some hope, they could provide clear direction. Whether that direction was right or wrong, just providing clear direction really helps settle an athlete. And so that was really important. And then obviously we had to help them with the financial aspects, because many coaches are just passionate people. They normally come from being athletes. Not too many of them come from an entrepreneurial background. And so when their main area of income, which is face-to-face coaching, is taken away, for many of them, they were just like, whoa, I have no idea what to do now. And so it was around supporting them to go, there are opportunities and there are ways around this. Let's provide some easy solutions for you, and then start to showcase what you can do in the future as well.
You're hearing from Craig Johns. He's organising the first World Endurance Coaching Business Summit to support endurance coaches while they try and work out the disruption in their industry.
We wanted to look at who was innovating, who was doing things a little bit different to other people, because many coaches will do exactly the same thing and then just paint a different picture on the front. So they might put their photo on the front, they might put a logo on top and say they're different, but most of the time they provide a very similar service. So for us, we were looking at, okay, who are doing things that are creative, that are are being successful in what they're doing. So we started to get some people that were doing things like consulting versus coaching. So the way they were coaching was a different model to being on pool deck or being on the run track or being out with the cyclist every single day, twice a day, sometimes three times a day, really involved 365 days a year, 7 days a week. We've got people out there now that are consulting with the people to give the power to the athlete to create their program. They provide this guidance and support on a basis which might be monthly or weekly. It's in a different format. Other people are using things like reoccurring membership models where rather than charging them lots for just a personalized, individualized program from one coach, they're creating these online environments where there are different experts, there are different coaches who have different styles. So from the 20 speakers we have, 3 of them have been Olympians, 10 have been world champions, I think 13 have coached a world champion, and 12 have coached or worked with an Olympian. So the expertise is quite incredible, but they're not just all working with high-performance athletes. Many of them are working with age group athletes, the weekend warrior, the person who wants to do their first marathon or first 10K or maybe an Ironman or a short triathlon. So it's incredible to see the expertise and the success that's there that are coming back to help the community.
Many of these speakers will share in the challenge that's posed by not having anything specific and concrete to train for, even with the unknown about whether or not the Olympics will go ahead.
One thing that's really important with everyone in life, no matter whether they're an athlete or a coach or a parent or a business owner, the most successful people have absolute clarity on their vision. And so at the moment, we've got people are kind of struggling. Is my vision still appropriate? Is it still relevant right now? But then you've got the other aspect where you've got the goalpost shifting. So they've set a goal, still got a vision, but there's a goal inside the vision, and those goalposts keep shifting. Now that's, I think, pretty much everyone in the world right now. Those goalposts are shifting, and it's especially challenging. You're talking about the Olympics there. We still don't know whether the Olympics will go ahead. Hopefully they will in 2021. For many athletes, they're still unsure around how they qualify. And we're seeing the same with the age group athletes, the weekend warriors and the juniors and that as well, as they're going, okay, well, we're still training right now, but it's kind of getting a little bit hard to stay motivated and inspired. We're not sure whether we want to try and win these virtual online races at the moment and sort of hit our peak too early, or do we just back off and take a rest? And I think we're seeing quite a mix of approaches here. There are some that have taken the opportunity to see how they can boost their profile. We're seeing others who are just taking a full reset on life. And so, I think it all depends on the person, where they're currently at. For those going to the Olympics, you've still got over a year to go. So I imagine most of them will just be maintaining right now and just trying to get little small wins. What are those little technique things? Can I work on my body and make sure that I'm injury free? And mentally, how do I stay relaxed? Which is, probably the toughest part is the mental aspect. How do you cope during this situation?
Triathlete Craig Johns there.